If you are in desperate need of a life glow up or just a personal one, this is the video for you. I'm a firm believer that every glow up starts from within. So this is going to be a 3-part series on how I'm preparing myself for the year of 2024. I think after this year, we could all use some inward reflecting and just making strides to become the best version of ourselves. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 24 pieces of advice on how you can start becoming the best version of yourself from within.
That was the ugliest heart.
This first piece of advice I talk about a lot already. I vouch for it 100%. It is about decreasing your social media consumption. It's almost about to be 1 year of not having TikTok. It has changed my life. I found that there were a lot of toxic traits that I would get just from scrolling on TikTok, which is insane. I would get all caught up in the celebrities drama and look through mean comments, and having not had it, I think has made me a lot happier. It's also saved me a lot more money too. It's definitely worth giving it a try. You don't have to necessarily delete TikTok, but it can be any social media app that you find is negatively impacting your life. That was a great one to start off with. Now we're about to rapid fire some great tips. Hopefully by the end of this video, your toxic traits will have been reversed. Second tip is about learning how to be more empathetic and understanding. These two are very hand in hand with one another. To be more empathetic, it helps to be more understanding, and to be more understanding, it helps to be more empathetic. Especially after this year, we should care for one another and try to understand each other's life stories. Understand where people's behaviors and actions come from. We tend to judge first before trying to understand the situation. Overall, this just makes you more emotionally intelligent, and this will help better your relationships as well. Third tip is stop making jokes about yourself. Self-deprecating ones, negative ones. None of that helps when it comes to self-esteem, and I think that this year can be all about improving how you see yourself and just giving yourself a lot more love. So turn those negative comments maybe into positive affirmations. Other people around you see that you are okay with making jokes about yourself. It kind of gives them that open door to think it's okay to make those jokes about you as well, which no, we don't want any of that. This video is sponsored by so they did send me a device that will help me do this experience. Now this is the reason why I've always wanted to do this, because my armpits, that's the real answer. This is some real vulnerability I'm sharing with you guys. As someone who finds it hard to do even the littlest tasks, like shaving your armpits, I often feel insecure stepping out of the house in a tank top like this. So if you can relate, this might be your saving grace. offers the best value, convenience, and pain-reduced experience. Since you're doing this at the comfort of your own home, you also have all the privacy that you could need. Say for me, it was a pain-free experience. At times you will feel like a sense of warmth, and then you also have the healing aspect of it. In your first 1 to 4 weeks of using the device, use it 3 times a week. From 5 weeks on, it's every half or once a month. And if you are low maintenance and you hate making appointments like I do, this is literally the most convenient device to have, because all I had to do was plug it in and turn it on. And boom. I have my own at-home appointment with myself, and I really didn't even have to lift a finger. In case you're wondering what IPL stands for, it is for intense pulse light. It is a type of FDA cleared light treatment that has been used in the hair removal industry for years. There are 3 different modes: soft mode, power mode, and body mode. Soft mode is for face, under lips, and bikini, while your power mode is for chest and under your armpit. And then your body mode is for legs, arms, that good stuff. I will be giving you guys updates on my progress, but so far for the first time experience, I loved it. It was so fun and very relaxing. My 4th tip is to unfollow anyone on social media that makes you feel less than, and instead follow those who inspire and uplift you. I've had my fair share of mutes and unfollows just because certain people would post certain things that lower my self-esteem in some way. Not to say that it's their fault, it also just meant I needed to do some reflecting inward. My 5th tip is about making an effort to spend time with loved ones. A lot of life's happiness comes from the people you surround yourself with. Don't neglect those relationships, they are important. Our 6th tip is about healing wounds from the past by journaling or going to therapy or finding healthy hobbies that help you move forward. A lot of times our life glow ups are just temporarily, and that's because we're being held back by things from the past that we have yet to reflect on. So then a lot of our bad habits and our trauma and emotions basically hold us back from being able to have this permanent life glow up. So you got to do the work to heal what has been broken. I don't know why I said it like that. That was really sad. 7 is a little similar to what I just said, but is about reflecting on bad habits and knowing where they come from. A lot of your bad habits stem from childhood or just the way you were raised. I know that my overthinking and my disorganization comes from just how I was raised, unfortunately, and that's not necessarily something that's your fault. Here's the thing. A lot of times when I would repeat these bad behaviors, I would just blame myself and feel very helpless. But I think that if you really know where the root of your bad habit comes from, it's kind of just a feeling of relief knowing that this bad habit can be undone. It's not just something engraved in you. Everything with time can be fixed, and eventually you'll be able to replace that bad habit with a much healthier one. I also definitely suggest writing that all in a journal and write out a plan on how to undo your bad habit. Personally, that helped me in figuring out how I could be more of an organized person. I'm definitely still on that journey, but I'm getting there. The 8th tip is about spreading love and kindness. As sappy as it sounds, the world needs some more of this. Simple gestures go a long way, whether that is opening a door for someone, complimenting someone on their outfit. Those small gestures end up snowballing, and it encourages other people to be just as kind. I find that kindness can easily be reciprocated. It's kind of like contagious a little bit, unless you're like the meanest person who hates being nice to people. Eventually you'll realize it's like second nature to you, and you'll just be oozing off kindness, and this will just attract more kind and loving people to you. This 9th one. Oof. Learn how to let go of things you cannot control. Let me say that again. Learn how to let go of things you cannot control. I say that because it sounds so simple, but why couldn't I get that through my head? I wish I could inject those words into my veins. Once you learn how to trust the process and just let go of things that are absolutely beyond your control, it brings you so much peace in your life. I would always stress over things that I could not do anything about, and I think in that it took a lot of time, just drained me mentally, because at that point you're just wasting energy on something that cannot be changed, and that sucks. I definitely think living by this is such a peaceful way of living life. 10 is about being true to yourself and to not base your life choices on the opinions and successes of others. Just because someone else is doing something and is succeeding at it doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong. We live in this day and age where we see so many people's successes, and it's easy to compare our life to them and think, well, maybe I should be doing that. Maybe it's the easier route. But I've learned that with time, everyone will find their purpose. Everyone is on a different life path, and every journey will look different. We are all not meant to be living the same life. That would be boring. Everyone at some point will experience success, and again, that is going to look different for every person. So the best thing to do is to just focus on your life journey and not let anyone else's determine what yours is going to be. That was really good. That was out the dome, that last sentence. So 11th tip is about being open to all experiences and trying new things. Being closed off only limits the possibilities of all the opportunities and what those opportunities can also bring you. An example of this would be like meeting a new friend. I know it seems dreadful at the beginning and kind of scary, but I like to think of it as this person could end up being my bridesmaid, or they could be your groomsman. They could bring so much happiness into your life. You just have to see for yourself, whether it's a traveling opportunity or a job opportunity. Don't immediately be closed off to it. Be open to the idea. 12, you can be both selfless and selfish, but knowing what's good for you and what isn't is what will help you determine that. Kept it short and simple for that one. Hopefully it said a lot more than what was said. 13 is about believing in what you stand for and to not let anyone else bully you into thinking otherwise. Unless you stand for something against humanity, that I will not condone. Stay true to your beliefs. Hopefully they are good ones. 14 is to surround yourself with like-minded people. It helps to be around people who carry the same values, morals, treat people as you would, are goal-oriented, because the saying goes, the 4 closest people around you essentially what make up who you are, which I believe to be 100% true. So be picky about your friends, because ultimately you want what's best for you and helps you grow as a person. 15 is to repeat at least one positive affirmation to yourself each day. This will help enlist a positive mindset in yourself. This will also help translate into your manifestations. I do believe in manifesting, but not manifesting where you just wait for something to happen. Positive belief that something can happen, plus working towards it at the same time, just increases the chances of that thing happening. But I've noticed whenever I've listened to positive affirmations or repeated them to myself, it has truly changed the overall feeling I have about life, and That says a lot. 16 is about being okay to saying no to things, especially if it is to protect your peace. I am a people pleaser. I also feel guilty about saying no to things sometimes because I don't want someone else to feel sad or anything. But sometimes I just end up regretting it. And I think regretting things is one of the worst things that you can do in life because you want every decision to be something you're happy about. So that is my own piece of advice to myself actually this year. 17 is learn how to make the dreadful tasks fun ones. If you watched my last video, I talked about how I hadn't gone to get a physical in 3 years. And the reason that was is just because I dreaded doing tasks like that. And though your health is very important, when things like doing your taxes or saving money, you just have to find a way to make them fun. It also helps to have a little buddy tag alongs. And if you can master that aspect of adulting, I think you're gonna be just fine in life. My 18th tip is about romanticizing all things, especially all the little things. I think that's what makes life most beautiful, is when you can learn to appreciate almost every aspect of it, from a sunset to a good meal. Appreciating all of those things is what makes you enjoy life a little bit more. That's been my mantra for the end of this year, especially because this year for me was not the easiest. I found that the moments where life brought me a lot of happiness is what I focused on and is what I remember to be grateful for. It made the happier days kind of overshadow the darker ones. And okay, well, tip 19 is to embrace your inner child. Even though you're getting older, doesn't necessarily mean that you can't watch a Disney show, go out and draw with crayons. Having that inner child in us is, I think, what keeps us so excited about life. I don't know why I'm being so deep about life right now, I'm sorry. But ultimately, I do think it's what keeps that livelihood in our soul. Remembering there's this inner child inside you that just wants to be let out sometimes. Tip number 20 is to try new hobbies, because my mom has recently got into crocheting. She's such a happy human being when she's crocheting, and it makes me so happy because she never really had time for hobbies before. It's definitely also a better pastime than, you know, scrolling on social media. So find a little hobby. I think I will be taking on one the next year, which is going to be scrapbooking, and I do want to learn how to crochet because it looks so fun. Maybe we can start a crochet club together. 21 is about going on morning walks, more specifically without your phone. This can be for like 10 to 20 minutes. The way that this just feels so refreshing in the morning, where my mind is literally just not thinking about anything and it's just listening to the trees, to the birds, to the cars passing. For like 20 minutes, I'm not thinking about life and the stressfulness of it. Sometimes I'm just walking. That is especially hard for me to just shut off my brain sometimes. So it amazes me how when I just walk outside, I literally have no thoughts, and it's just, you know, sweet silence. I also think this perfectly sets up your day, prevents you from being a phone gremlin the rest of the day, because then you're not like so attached to it. You've already set up your day to be a lot more successfully. It's really good for your mental health. This next one's gonna hit. Evaluate your feelings of jealousy before you let them negatively impact your emotions. I felt like whenever I felt jealous of someone, it was mostly because they had something or did something that I maybe wanted to do. And eventually those feelings would turn into hate and dislike. Just realize, wow, Michaela, you are not one of these type of people. And instead of just feeling jealous, I realized that I could work on myself and figure out what I'm lacking and what I can do to maybe get to where they are, or get to do the things that I want to do. Feeling jealous of someone and not doing anything about it isn't going to get you anywhere. It's only going to make you a little bitter and cause feelings of hate that are quite unnecessary. And feelings of hate are never good. I realize that. It just never feels good to dislike someone. So reflect and just do better. 23 is to always remind yourself of the things that you are grateful for. A little bit going back on the jealousy part, I think it's super easy for us to see someone else's life and think, I wish I had that. But sometimes you want to bring yourself back to earth and realize that you have a lot to be grateful for, whether that's in the littlest things. There's always something in your life worth appreciating, whether that is a person, a book. Just always remind yourself of something that you are grateful for. 24 has to be the best, obviously. And the last piece of advice that I have for you today is to remember who and what matters most in life. More specifically, yourself. If you live by what truly makes you happy on the inside, you'll live a beautiful life. And at the end of the day, that's what makes life most memorable. That was sappy. Okay, but sometimes you have to be sappy to get the point across. Every one of you guys is beautiful on the inside and out. You just really have to find that within yourself. I think if you are already wanting to better yourself as a person, that always shows a lot more about you, and it's worth trying for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more parts of this series coming soon. I love you guys so much.